Hi, this is Property Espresso. I'm Owen.
And I'm Stefan Sageman.
I'm at Barkham Brew in Browns Bay with Stefan Sageman. Hi, Stefan.
How are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm thrilled to see you. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Yes.
We're here today having a little chat about perception. And what better person to be involved in a conversation than Stefan? I did an AI review earlier on to just give you an idea of who Stefan is. So if you don't know Stefan Sageman is a renowned Auckland-based hypnotherapist and magician who has received very positive reviews for his hypnotherapy services. He's a highly effective and experienced practitioner who has an empowering approach, he's professional and supportive to his clients. Well done.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good thing that comes out of AI these days. You can do reviews and it tells you the truth.
Yes,
Welcome.
Thank you.
You come from a very different background than I, and I think through that perspective, it's a good thing to look at the whole psyche of perception and how that influences branding and real estate. Halo effect.
Absolutely.
What's your thoughts on that?
And so, halo effect, also known as, we're talking about perception. It's very important to identify what is someone's perception. You can be selling a brand, you can be really gaining rapport with someone, but if you don't understand their perception or what is that motivates their perception, what is it they're looking for, you're not going to be able to get further into a person's bubble.
Good, right? Quite concise. Very good. Thank you. With the fact that people's perception of pricing, some people will pay despite a price being high, and they may even buy it even if there isn't a discount available. A classic example is Apple. Apple, people go and buy Apple phones and Apple products, and there's no discount on them, but they will go and buy them because of the branding and the perception.
Absolutely, but it's also due to the neuroassociation that people have with brands, and that's what creates the perception around us, reckon. Having that neuroassociation, when I say that, is that when people have an experience with Apple as a certain style, they know that it's high quality, they know that it is a luxury brand. That's the reason behind, and that's what creates those associations of positive, high quality brand and that perception.
I guess they very good at marketing. They frame the whole this Apple product and what you get and the experience really well.
Absolutely, even just looking through their website, how it's very smooth, it's very crisp colours, and it's very easy to read. All of these things build up that brand, build up people's perceptions of that brand.
Yeah. And I guess if you can relate that to high perception of high-end or luxury branding, people want to feel good by either buying those products or experiencing those products. And again, that's a psychological thing.
Absolutely. And when people are feeling significant, they feel good. But when people are given, it could be an item of clothing that expresses individual identities or anything else, this is what creates those positive associations.
Significant. That's a really good word. I was on holiday a couple of years ago in Italy, and we went to this shop and we saw these people walking around with these Christian Dior dupe bags. Yeah, and they were sort of thing that you go to New World and put your shopping into. No, but they have the Christian Dior branding on it. And my wife said, I wonder how much those cost. So I went into this store and was completely blown away. 2,000 euros for just a dupe bag with Christian jewelry on it. Obviously, we didn't buy it. However, it made me think of that whole perception, because you could go into New World, you buy the same bag with New World or patent branding for less than $10, or you could buy a Christian Dior one for about 2,000 euros. It's just amazing. That's your buy.
That's right. And it is incredible to see, and this is through different cultures, this is through different races, everyone as human beings, we all want the same thing. We all want to be happy. We all want to be happy. We all want to be well. We want to feel significant. And I think that's where, again, branding and advertising is so important.
Yeah, I guess the other side of it is there's a term called quiet luxury. There's people that don't want to be seen with those pristine or bad, but want to experience something better. And that's significant experience that's really, really important in luxury branding in high end. So I guess from that aspect, is there anything that you could sort of relate to that?
And so, absolutely, that with high luxury products, people go for the brands. There are other brands which are not necessarily high luxury, but high quality. And this is, again, as to why people prefer these items over cheap items. If it's expensive, it could be an umbrella, for example. If it's an expensive umbrella, people will look after it. Even though it doesn't have any branding on it, they know that it's expensive. They're not there to feel significant, but because that it's significant to them, they look after it, versus a cheap umbrella, which you can get for $20, and then they lose it or it breaks.
Just like that.
So that's why it's very important to understand as to where people are coming from. What is that motivates them? What is that influences them? What it is that they see? And that's how you really get an understanding of their perception of the world.
It's an interesting quote by somebody called Martin Newman. A brand isn't what you say it is, it's what they say it is.
Exactly. And that's what's so important as a professional therapist, is to listen to what your clients want, or anything. If you're in sales, if you're in marketing, if you're in advertising, if you're in real estate, everything is so important when you listen and get that information from who you're dealing with.
Modern consumers are a little bit more clued up these days because there's so much information readily available. And they're more interested, particularly the younger ones, first-time buyers, they're more interested in the ecological impact of the company or a service, how it affects the community. So I guess it's an all-encompassing experience that they're looking for, not just purely a transaction.
Absolutely. And as you know, in this day and age, we're in the information age, where information is literally everywhere. One of the biggest problems is that people are now having more misinformation than ever, and not getting the result or not getting the outcome because of doubt, or because there's so much information that they choose to do nothing with it at all.
I always relate any service to if people are looking to travel business class compared to economy, and the difference that you get between the two. So that high business class scenario is a whole experience. It's not just about the destination, but it's about the experience that you have along the way, along the journey. And every aspect of that is included. The way it's ticketed, the way you're transferred to the airport, where you wait at the airport, you go to a lounge and they look after you in the lounge, and then they call you just before loading, so you don't have to hang around the gate. And then when you get to the gate, you get to the airplane, you're turning left, you're going into business or first class. If you're turning right, you go to economy, or you're going to separate business altogether. So all of those things are that whole significant experience. So
absolutely. And again, it's taking out the stress. It's so that way that people can again focus on enjoying themselves, and it's that carrying that experience on from where they're waiting right through to when they're sitting down in the airplane.
I did help up. Just relating to that, I don't travel business very often, but I have done in the past, and it's a great experience. You enjoy it. If you relate that to real estate, I think if you can include stages in the whole process where people enjoy that significant experience, it's a great thing to do. And I think from that aspect, if you can choose the right agent, choose the right salesperson within that agency, you're going to get there. Yeah. And you need to look around, because the perception is that some agencies are better than others, those high-end or those luxury sales. In fact, every major agency does sales over $5 million, except some of them concentrate on that sales. So you can look at the value of what you put out.
Absolutely. And again, it's about what you define as value. That's so important, because there are some people that love, a $5 million apartment, whereas there are those others which enjoy a bit of space or a bit of, privacy. So it really is quite incredible to know what is people's value and what is that creates their perception.
Yes, I guess a couple of common terms as well, like international. What is it? So I think it was 1980s, the World Wide Web was established, and all of a sudden now 8 billion people have access to the same website. So how do you distinguish between one agency and another? Everybody is in an international arena, and it's perception.
Absolutely. And it all comes from doing your homework and really not just researching. Anyone can put up a website these days, but it's really going in for a call, an email, finding out the answers to the questions that you have, and through that's when you can get a more of a better feel if that's the right person for you.
And it's not just about that whole sales process, what goes on afterwards as well. Do you get a salesperson who continues that journey with you after they've made the sale? And you need to look at all of that in conjunction with the commission that you pay. And you pay extra for a service that's the same as another agency. And that's my point on getting Stefan in as an indicated interest and who is up to a from psychological point. And I guess looking at perception is really, really important to lobbying day. People tend to make the rational decisions when the market is fluctuating. They make more rational decisions when the market is steady.
And that's because we're taking rid of the fear or the worry or the doubt element. And when we take out resistance, or when we take out fear, that's when everything just seems a lot more easier. Very much like a luxury brand, taking the ease out of all the things which are difficult to use, or resistance.
It's easy to and that comes from somebody who is not just a hypnotherapist, he's a magician as well.
Yeah.
So the perception side and the influence side of things is very much with you, Stefan.
Absolutely, and that's one of the great things from what I see as a magician and hypnotist, understanding psychology from a very young age and just seeing as to how important that plays a part in not just my world but in society as a whole. Yeah, I think it's very important to actually get an idea as to what people's perceptions are and how to change them for the better.
Yes, right.
Thank you, Stefan. That's been really informative, and I hope to do another similar video with you on another topic, because I think it's really important to look at the holistic view of things. So if you are looking for some hypnotherapy help in giving up smoking or some habits or
Weight loss, personal development, I do that and everything in between.
Yeah. And empowerment. That's a key term that came out of that AI review.
That's right. Change your perception, change your life.
Well, that's a good term.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good to see.
Bye-bye from your box.
Come on.